Project 613, day 28. Today we learn about the mitzvah of Mezuza. This is also mentioned in the Shema, in the paragraph of Hafta, which we recite every day. In both paragraphs, it states, you shall write them upon the doorpost of your house and upon your gates. What is Mezuza? One of the great misconceptions out there is that it's a box that has a shin and it's placed on the door. But that's not true. The Mezuza is a handwritten parchment. This parchment contains the two paragraphs of the Shema. It begins Shema Yisrael and continues with the paragraph of Hafta. They are handwritten, inscribed with a quill and special ink on parchment that comes from the hide of a kosher animal. And every single letter, every single word has to be perfect. It has to be exact. It cannot be missing anything. It cannot be attached to another letter. And this parchment has to be placed on the doorpost. So the parchment is placed into a box, into a protective box, in order that it should remain perfect on the doorpost. On the outside, there is the letters Shin, Dalid, Yud, which is one of God's names. And our sages tell us that the Shin, Dalid, Yud, these three letters are the first letters of the following three words: Shomer Daltot Yisrael, the guardian of the doors of Israel. The mezuzah is the Jewish security system. The mezuzah represents the fact that God protects the inhabitants of the home, not only when they are in the home, but even when they are outside the home. Having a kosher mezuzah, a proper mezuzah on the doorpost, is the greatest protection and security that a Jew can have for themselves. So first of all, it needs to be a kosher mezuzah. It has to be done properly. In fact, the industry of mezuzah is rampant with fraud. There are a lot of fraudulent mezuzahs out there, and it's really important to have a kosher mezuzah. So that's number one. Number two, it's also important to realize that we need to have a mezuzah on all the doorposts of our home. Besides for a restroom and the like, every doorpost of the home should have a mezuzah. It is placed on the right side, on the right doorpost, on the top third, the bottom of the top third of the doorpost, on the right side. The purpose of the mezuzah, in addition to being a representation of God's protection for everyone in the home, it's also a reminder to us. Every time we walk into our home, walk out of our home, we should remember that God is watching us, and that our behavior should reflect that reality, that we are always standing in front of God, and we have a commitment to God. And the main thing is that we should have kosher mezuzahs on all the doors of our home, and we should be protected and live a life the way God wants us to. Talking about mezuzah and the way to write a mezuzah, there's another mitzvah, which is writing a Torah scroll. We'll talk more about that tomorrow.